TheSmartLocal.com.
Hello.
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 Can you tell me your Karen encounter?
Karens, oh my gosh.
Many years ago, I was working in Singapore Powers as a customer service officer. It's a typical day, like late afternoon, the crowd is in. And then I was like serving this couple. As I complete the account procedure for this person, right, then I was like walking them through. I say that like, the utilities will be activated the next day. This is where right, his face changed. And he was like, what do you mean it can only be like turned on tomorrow? I need it today. And then he continued shouting at me and then like berating me at my counter. He refused to move from my counter for 1 hour. So can you imagine there's like 70 plus people in the queue, right? And then he don't care. He just continued to sit there and then like waste everybody's time. So I get my manager out. Then two of us, like we just keep explaining to him like we just can't do it lah because there's limitations. And then he's like, no, I don't care. I want it to be done today. That kind of thing. It was around 4 plus already because I remember the engineering people, usually they finish at 5 o'clock one lah. So we have this like poor engineer who has to OT past like 5:30 just to like do it for him lah. So okay, I go back to the counter. So I just explained to the guy that like, okay, we managed to activate like one engineer to like help you lah. And this, instead of being grateful, right, you know how you say, see, I told you, just shout at them, we can get things our way already. Wow. The moment I heard it, right, I was like, I nearly threw my chair at him, but then I was like, no, take the high road step, don't do it.
Last time during my part-time job, I was a yogurt swirler. I remember it was a weekend and it was very, very busy. So there were a lot of people coming in and out, buying yogurt and things like that. And there was this lady, this middle-aged lady, with the typical Karen haircut. So she bought grape flavoured yogurt and then she went away. And a few minutes later she came back and then she standing at the cashier and she was like, I think your yogurt spoiled. So I was like, yogurt spoiled really? But we just pour a fresh batch into the machine this morning. So I said, sorry ma'am, what is wrong with what's wrong with the yogurt? She said, it's sour. Ma'am, yogurt is sour one. You never eat yogurt before, is it? She just stood there with her half-eaten cup of yogurt that was already melting. Then she just stand at the cashier there. And everybody's like busy, right? Like it was just me and another girl. And then we were both like, wow, faster. She just stand there. Is your manager around? Then I was like, no, she's not around. But sorry, can you give us like 5 minutes because there's really a lot of people. She, okay. Then the best thing is, she continued to eat the yogurt. She continued. Spoil already, still continue. Like, huh? So finally the crowd cleared. I was like, yeah, so what can I do? You know, like, how may I assist you, right? Then she was like, yeah, I think you need to check your whole batch of yogurt because I think it's probably spoiled. So I said, okay, we have other flavors. Do you want to try other flavors? Then she like a bit, okay, give me sample of all the flavors you have. She eat all. I think this is also spoiled. Auntie, you like eat before yogurt, is it? It's sour one. Then we all like, yeah, 小妹妹, right? Then we like, oh, okay, then we try. It tastes exactly the same as every single day and nobody else complains. So like, what the hell, man? Then she was like, yeah, I think you give me the strawberry flavour one, no? I think that one not so sour. Maybe that one haven't spoiled. What? Okay, fine. Give you strawberry one. She eat. Then she ate already. She, okay. Then she left her almost finished grape yogurt on the cashier.
My main Karen encounter, which I find highly traumatizing, is a few years back, I was on an escalator and then my family were all on the escalator first and then I joined them after some other people had like cut in between. So I just walked down the steps and then slot myself in where there was an empty step. And then the lady was like, and then I thought I hear wrongly, you know, so I just like give her the benefit of the doubt. I just turned behind like, what's going on? And then she was like, are you serious? Then I was like, oh my god, I'm ready to like... So I wait until I get down on ground level, right? And then I was like, what's the issue? And then she was like, are you serious or not? You go and like cut in front of me? I was so baffled, you know, like I feel like the reaction was completely unwarranted. So I remember this very clearly. I like pointed at the escalator and I was like, look at them. They are all also standing on each step. It's crowded. And then you know what she said? I don't care! They are them! I am me! Then the husband was like, he walked back and he was like, oh, what's the issue? Then she was like, she cut in front of me! Then I was like, look at how crowded it is. Instead of going down the anger route, he scoffed. He was like, "Phew." Then he said, no point arguing with this type of people. And I was like, I'm not even arguing with you. Look at your wife. And then they walked away. And then I was like,
so blinded with rage
that I started following them. And then my sister had to like pull me away and be like, no, it's not worth it. Not that I was gonna like beat them lah. So I always think about whether like she went home and like told her family like, oh my god, I like ran into this 小杂包 at Jam. She like cut in front of me on the escalator. I hope she died. But I hope many people cut in front of her on escalators.
So my friend and I were kind of volunteering / working at this like non-profit organization, you know, for like charity and things like that. There was this lady, she didn't look suspicious or anything. She looked like, you know, your typical auntie, that kind. Then she over there packing stuff. So we're like, okay, cool, very nice. Then a while later, out of the corner of my eye, right, then I spotted this same lady pocketing like 6 biscuits like at a time. Then I poked my friend, I'm like, what's going on? She's over there taking like bottles and bottles of juice. And I'm like, at this point, I think she's taken up half of the tray of things already. So we go over there, we're like, what's happening? Are you alright, ma'am? So my friend just asked like, how come you're taking so many things? Like, is it you're taking for your, like, the other volunteers? And like, totally straight face, she said, I should be getting paid this amount so I can take this many biscuits. And we're like, man, there's not enough for everybody else. And then she was over there like, but I got here first. And I was like, man, it's not about who gets here first. Then she continued like talking about how like the biscuits actually only so cheap. Why she cannot take more? Why y'all cannot provide more like refreshment? Then she said, next time right, actually y'all should get sandwiches. Then she complained basically got no lunch, the food not good enough, this and that. It's a non-profit, for goodness sake.
So my encounter was where my crew and I, we just finished filming at a specific location. We had a bunch of gear on a trolley. We were waiting for a grab. We were waiting by the sidewalk. And then there's this dude that just comes in and then starts shouting at us like, hey, why you blocking the place? I'm gonna trip and fall eh. I'm like, bruh. There was enough room for at least 3 people to walk side by side. He starts disturbing us and said like, oh, blocking the way, I'm gonna call police, you're causing so much trouble. We politely apologized, but we also politely ignored him. It's like, oh, sorry uncle, sorry. Then we just moved a little bit just to make him feel a little bit better.
This customer came in and then he wanted to buy a cake and write a birthday messages because working there, right, we actually provide a message on a chocolate tag. So 10 words in English and 7 words in Chinese lah. Then he wanted to write 10 words in Chinese and then we really tells him, say cannot. Then he's like, but why cannot? I want to write eh. Then end up we like back and forth. Then he was like, it's okay lah. You just write mama happy birthday. Cause you also can't make it on. And not say right, the cake he buy like $45, yeah? It's only like one small cake, $20. Then actually right, he lived damn near to the mall that I was working at. So every time I will see him, you know, with the mom and the child. Then every time he walk past me, I will just glare at him. Then he like paiseh lah, then he just walk off.
My to-do list was to experience a Karen situation, and I did a lot of time. And that was before I joined TSL, which is when I was still a cabin crew. I had this flight to a certain country, and you know the aisle is so tight
and narrow and small.
like only one person can fit through one at a time. So it was so crowded, there's like a human traffic jam. And then, okay, let's say this is the front, this is the back. I'm at nearly to the end, and this male Karen is like in the center. So you can imagine there's like 5 people in between us. And then this male Karen shout across, hey, can you carry my luggage for me? And not just he shout, there is one red flag. He is like 30-year-old. He's quite fit. Like, why can't he carry himself? And then I choose to ignore because I was like helping another person who is much more older. You know why he said, oh, it's heavy. Then I said, okay, I'll offload lah. Go to the cargo. And then he said, oh, no, I carry myself.
Was it a business class?
Yeah, it was economy. Oh my god, yes, yeah. How dare you?
Thank you for watching this episode of Tell Me About It. If you have any Karen encounters yourself, let us know about it in the comments below. And as always, remember to like, share and subscribe. Ring our notification bell and watch all our other videos over there. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye Karens. Don't come here. Don't come to TSL. Don't come here.